We fixing to do the pledge of allegiance while y'all standing up?
We can.
Or y'all want a seat?
Chairman, we're live.
Here we are. Hello, everyone. We're going to go ahead and get the meeting started, call to order. We're going to take a roll call. Everybody's here. I got a couple of things on the agenda we need to add, so just bear with me just a minute. On the agenda for tonight, we need to add on the unfinished business under 6E, community room walls, add also and usage agreement discussion, okay? And then under new business, put under 7C, courthouse holiday lighting. That's only amendments I have for it. Anybody else have anything they want to amend to the agenda? We're good? Okay, need a approval on the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second.
Commissioner Jimmy Hollingsworth has made a motion and second by Frank. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Pass. Does everybody have has everybody looked over the minutes from last meeting?
Yep.
I have, and I have an original copy here, so I can sit there and stamp it if it's approved. So we'll need a motion to approve the minutes from the last meeting of, that will be October the 3rd.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second it.
Motion made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Aye. Motion approved. That's done. Thank you. Next thing on the agenda will be any public comments? No public comments at this time. Is that right? Let's see what we got. Okay, I'll ask you all to come up whenever we get to that point of your part on here, okay? All right, unfinished and old business. Animal shelter update. Let me go ahead and give you an update on the animal shelter. I'm still reviewing the drawings. I have talked with Scott St. John. Of course, the documents are quite large, and I don't want to overlook anything, so I'm still finishing up the review on those. I would go ahead and give you a report on the site work for which will be 6B. On the site work for the Coffee County Health Department has been all approved. Paperwork's already been done. Curl has the contract. They're getting their bonding and stuff together for approvals, and once they get all that done, we'll be scheduling a meeting with them for pre-construction. I know myself and Scott St. John and maybe somebody else is going to be there for that pre-construction meeting, so just want to give you that update on that because we've already approved all that. So 6C will be the welcome signs for the county line. That's the next on our agenda, and I want to go ahead and let Mr. Harding, if you would, James Harding, would you want to go ahead and start and
Does he give his numbers or just give you a piece of paper?
Hmm?
So you gonna give, or talk out loud, or is he just gonna give you?
yeah, I want him to talk about, what we're after is, they're gonna give us their design and how much it's gonna cost us, and, then we're gonna take it and we'll have our discussion with it and pick what we're gonna do. Okay?
Well, I've got 3 or 4 different options here,
That's what we're gonna see.
and the material,
Okay.
one's, who gets these?
I do.
Okay.
Then Frank gets them, and then Jimmy gets them.
Well, I'll just look at it with you.
Oh, wait a minute. I think we have enough for everybody to have one.
Well,
There's
they may
A's
be
and
different,
B's.
there's different
Okay.
options on them.
Me and you'll look at
They're
this.
all,
A. Mine's got
Okay.
A on it.
Yeah, we all got A.
Everybody got
I've got an
A?
A.
Everybody got A?
I've got an A.
Okay, we got an A's. Go ahead. Are we the same A? I'm not sure. No, we're not the same.
We're not.
Let me see your A.
Mine's 4x8 by 1/8 aluminum.
Yeah, that's the three
Okay.
options, I guess you said.
I guess is your 3 options then, is that right?
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, let's look at which one you're looking at first then. We're looking at the option 1, the 4x8, 1/8 aluminum. Is that what you got? We'll do
Yeah.
that one first. Okay. All right, you wanna look at that?
Now, that's 1/8" aluminum. We did some of it at Webb School 16 years ago like that, and they still look good.
Where are they located at? Over on the highway?
Yeah, right on the highway.
I'll probably see.
They're the navy blue ones. You can see them as you drive by.
I know exactly where it's at now.
They was 2008 we did those. And I've also got the option there to route the letters instead of vinyl down there.
The Webb School one, Mr. Harden, is it vinyl or is it routed? The Webb School one, is it routed or is it,
They're vinyl,
so they're vinyl on there?
high performance vinyl.
Okay,
The routed letters, I don't know, they look good up close, but driving down the road, no.
sure.
Okay.
But the logo up there is routed, it'll be routed out of PVC.
So that's the 3 different
And there's
sizes.
1/8" wall aluminum
Yeah, I'm with you now.
tube post.
So you got some that's got 2 posts and then one that's got like a,
Yeah, it's got 2
Column.
posts, but the posts are covered with the
Oh, okay.
cladding,
I got you. There's posts behind that.
sir.
There's posts
Yeah, with a
behind
skirt
that,
around it,
I
yeah.
got you.
Have you got the A that's got the composite material on it too?
They got it right there.
Okay.
Is this for, per each sign, or is this for?
Yeah, that's for each sign.
Okay.
For one sign.
Okay. These
Not
are
for the-
ones besides the other ones on that.
And all the other designs, they're the same price, they just look different, you know, and
Yeah.
there's a 5, now I went up there, the one going into or coming from McMinnville is a 5x6, but the one that McMinnville got, Warren County, is a 5x9.5. So I priced these 5x10 and 4x8.
Okay. Okay. All right, these are for us?
Yeah, they are.
Okay. This right here.
Older.
All right, thank you.
That it?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Joel, you wanna come up and give me what you have on yours then?
I think I like that design. So I think I like that one. Looks good.
Okay. You and I can share.
Okay.
You may need one?
I was gonna use my phone.
Here you go.
Okay.
I can look off this.
So I wasn't able to make the last meeting, I was out of town, but I did watch the video
Okay.
to get an idea what you guys were looking for. And it seemed to me like the two most important things were, number one, you gotta like the design, and number two was longevity. One thing I didn't hear mentioned, I'm curious about, is what is y'all's concern about these being visible at night?
That would be nice.
Yeah, I think they should be reflective. Possible.
That is possible,
At least
so,
the welcome sign on the side of the town.
on options 1 and 2, the blue and the green one, there's two ways we can do that. Originally, we had in mind doing this is basically, in the solid border that you see would be fabricated aluminum cabinet. The white and blue and white and gray, the white border in the blue and the white border in the green would be a polycarbonate pulled face. We would put the graphics on the back side of that polycarbonate. So none of the graphics, vinyl or anything would be exposed to the sun. The polycarbonate would protect it. And they're dang near bulletproof. I mean, somebody throw a bottle out the window of the car going down the road at it, it's just gonna bounce off of it. I think it's like 250 times stronger than glass, polycarbonate is. I think acrylic's like 17 times. So significant difference in longevity and reliability on the polycarbonate faces. You can't do reflective second surface. So did y'all catch me on that, what the second surface was? I need to go over that real quick.
Yeah, again, I think
Okay.
I understand what you said, but
So you got a plastic face. Typically, what you see most of around here is a white piece of acrylic with vinyl laid on the front of it. We use clear polycarbonate, put all the graphics vinyls on the back side, and then back spray it, whatever the background color is, white or whatever. So that keeps everything on the inside of the face and protects it from any weathering, sun fading and all that. Easily a 10+ year, lifespan on that. That can be made reflective, it just can't be second surface. It would have to go on the face side of the sign. So, 5, 6, kind of depending on weather and the elements, how long you're gonna get out of that first surface reflective vinyl. We would just mount them on 2 4x4 steel posts. They would run up through the sign, so they wouldn't be exposed on the backside. The backside of the sign would just be solid aluminum, either blue or green, or these can be any colors. If you guys wanted to change colors, we could do whatever color, that you wanted to do. Any questions about option 1? Option 2 is the same concept, just a little different design. Again, we can do polycarbonate and second surface, but it will not reflect, from headlights going down the road. We can do that in a digital reflective vinyl that, again, would have to go on the face. You can't go behind the polycarbonate. Option 4 is kind of a spin-off of the sign out front. That is all aluminum, and where you see the lines and the Welcome to Coffee County, that is routed out of the aluminum and then backed with whatever color you guys choose. This is like a bronzy color. Acrylic would back that. Again, no reflectiveness on that one. We could try to see if we could get a reflective vinyl to put on the acrylic to back that with. I know we can get it in white, which is kind of what we are going to propose on that last option. I'm not positive that we could get it in a bronzy type color.
What would be the lifespan on this?
20 years. The way we attach, one big difference kind of separates us from some of the other signs I've seen in the routed and back world is we actually will stud weld to the face of that piece of aluminum, and the acrylic is actually bolted to the face. I've seen some in the past where, some people glue that acrylic to the back of the aluminum, and over time, that glue will release and it will drop. So we stud weld all of ours and drill holes in all the acrylic for every stud weld, and we bolt it to the back of the aluminum. The last one, had a cool idea on this one. It would be routed and backed also, but we would back it with a white reflective vinyl. So when a headlight hit it, "Welcome to Coffee County, established 1836," would pop off of the sign itself. So that the whole sign's not reflective, just the letters. So they'll just see the letters hitting them, lighting up. Of course, when their headlights hit the sign, they'll see the sign. But prior to that, it's just gonna illuminate, what's in writing there. I wasn't 100% sure you were taking bids at this time, but I do have some numbers I can.
Yeah, we'd like to have them, if you got them.
So option 1 and 2 is $47.75. Option 1 and 2.
Each side, right?
Yes, per sign. Thank you. That includes the installation, the support system, the sign, everything except taxes and permits. And on that note, I was curious, are these signs gonna be in the right of way? Do you need permission from the state to do that? Is that something you guys are handling? Or how's that gonna work?
Didn't we say the company would be responsible for all of that?
Yep.
Okay.
So that would be something you to be
Well, the
responsible.
state won't allow a sign to be put in their right of way.
I know we still have,
There may,
We still have posts there.
yeah, we still have posts there for from the old signs.
there may be some exception to that for county municipalities and things like that, but frankly, I've not done that before, so I'm not familiar with that, but I definitely can look into, how we could put those signs in the state right away. I know for regular business, it ain't gonna happen, but for a municipality, there may be some exception to that rule that I'm not familiar with, but we'd be glad to look into that and, make sure everybody's on the same page with permitting and codes and what's allowed and what's not. Option 3 is $48.80 per sign. Option 4 is $53.04 per sign. And option 5 would be $49.40 per sign.
And this last one is also 20 years too, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It's a guaranteed 20
No,
years?
I mean, no guarantee, no. But based on experience and the way it's manufactured, the materials that it consists of, you don't see why.
Okay,
What was it called?
on the last one?
$49.40.
You got it?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody have any other discussion with him right now?
No.
All right. Joel, appreciate you
Joel,
coming
thank
in.
you.
Appreciate y'all's time and giving us the opportunity.
Try to look at the state law and sign.
I tell you what I didn't do, I got my number on there now. Should put it
You
on
do.
Drawings, okay, as I say, if y'all
It's
think of a question.
588, 9.
95337.
Gotcha.
So if y'all think of a question you meant to ask but didn't while I was here, feel free to give me a call.
Okay. All right, if there's no other discussion with it for right now? Okay. I appreciate it very much for
Yes,
both
sir.
of y'all. If y'all wanna stay, you can stay, but we'll look it over and see which way we're gonna go.
I appreciate it, thanks guys.
Thank you very much, both of you.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Mr. Harden.
Okay. Let's go to 6D. 6D, lighting of the courthouse light. I want to go ahead and,
Question, was that,
what?
is that 7C also?
Yes, it's a different thing.
Okay.
One of them's holiday lighting, one of them's the other lighting that we've been discussing about lighting the
Oh, the
building.
accent line?
Yeah. I thought we needed to keep it separate.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Okay?
Just making sure.
Yeah.
This one's mine, right? This is the one that you're talking about that I've been working on?
This is yours.
All right,
Take it away, Rick.
making sure.
Take it away, Rick.
All right. Try to get there.
Dun, dun, dun.
This law says that, signs erected by municipalities may be permitted without a permit. That's what it says.
What if it's just one of them, Tim, you just have to notify them, hey, we're putting one up?
Probably.
Kind of thing.
Probably just to be safe.
Boy.
Don't talk about the number yet. That's just a big scary number to scary. It's not what it is.
Why would you do that?
He likes to do the,
Worst case scenario,
scary.
worst case scenario number. But
It's not a bad number.
That's not the
it's
number.
not,
Oh, that's not the number?
that's not the number.
No, I mean, that's the worst case scenario number. I'll tell you. Okay, so. The one that shows the actual lot is the Broadwave LED wall washer. That's the light itself. So they make two different ones. They make a 4-footer and a 2-footer.
Okay.
The price wise, I've kind of just in my own went out there and measured, looked at the building, and tried to figure out where I thought lights would be necessary. It's basically, without putting them on the wall and putting them on the building, kind of hard to tell exactly what we really need. So, obviously, if this is something that we want to do, I would just propose maybe, getting a few of each of them, putting them on the building, and kind of seeing what we get out of each of them. I feel like if we get a really good spread and a really good light out of a 2-footer, there's no sense in spending twice as much money for a 4-footer. But there's really no way to tell until I get it on because there's nobody around here that have these lots. So that's kind of where you see.
So are you getting them straight from the company?
Yes, these come straight from the company. I use Southern Electric as that I'm getting them
Through Southern Electric
Electric
from the company?
Yeah, because they won't sell it. They don't sell it to
I got you.
individuals. But so on the price sheet, you just see,
Sure.
4-footers and 2-footers, what they cost individually, and then what I've guesstimated that we would need just based off of space on the building and how much area we're trying to cover. That's the number. In that number is also, so you have a control panel that'll be inside. Everything else will be outside, but the control panel basically lets you pick colors, strobes, what you want to do with it. You can have up to 3 zones, so our building, we probably never use 3 zones, but like let's just say you wanted one side to flash and you wanted one side to stay steady, or 1 green, 1 blue, whatever. You could do 2 separate or 3 separate zones based on how you wired it up. In the future, they make more expensive control panels that allows you to do more, but I don't really see the necessary, because actually you also have an app based. It works through Android and iPhone, so you can do pretty much everything that you're going to be able to do on any control panel. You really can just do on your phone. The control panel is going to be there. If somebody's just there and they want to change it for whatever reason, somebody who works there, they can change it. All this wiring will be done by me. It's a very simple process. The lights will mount to the wall. They just shine straight up the wall.
They're just plug and play.
And they're just plug and play. You can have, I think the longest span you can have is 25 feet in between the 2 lights. We do have a couple that are really close to that. But there's, we'll have to just see what we go with. And then, again, you can have, out of one control panel, you can actually come out of that one control panel and go 3 separate runs. So, worst case scenario, if we have to do that, we'll be able to, it's a real simple wiring process. Everything is just plug-in. The only, there's nothing. The biggest thing we couldn't do is we couldn't do anything away from the building in the ground, because one whole side is nothing but sidewalks and concrete. Obviously, you don't want to be digging under concrete, boring under the concrete. Some of the other side, there's just a lot of stuff in the way. So with this system, everything's going to be on the building. Nothing will be off the building.
Have you looked at videos and YouTube of how it works and what it looks like when it comes from the wall?
You been to Murfreesboro?
Yeah,
Well,
but that's in the ground. Though.
The only videos that I saw are the ones from
It's
this.
in the
Like you can
ground.
see this right here
Yeah.
kind of shows, but nothing. This is a very new product. Like, this is a product that nobody has around. So
Gotcha.
it's kind of hard. Like I said, that's why it's really hard to even tell how much of it we need. But as far as how it works is a lot like the courthouse in Murfreesboro. This system is probably just a little bit more updated.
Theirs is away from the building.
Theirs is away from the building, and they have they have a couple of different sizes, which their courthouse is a lot bigger than ours. So these lights are supposed to shine up 8 stories. Now that's what they claim, and that was the biggest thing in trying to find something. We needed something to go up at least 3 stories high, and then of course we also needed something that was easy to wire, because I don't want to spend a whole bunch of money in like going under the concrete and running all new wire, where this one, basically all you do is the wall control will be inside it plugs into the wall, basically just like a plug-in. And then to the first light, you just have to have one Cat 5 internet wire running to it. And then
So it's all run off Cat 5?
No, it runs off of each cable is like power cable, but the
Okay.
first one has to be to
The
Cat
Cat
5.
5
Just
for
the
the
first
control.
one.
For the
Yep.
control.
Okay.
Yep.
Most of the lighting systems now, they're 10 years old or older.
So you've probably seen the rolling car wash in Manchester, like right in front of Tractor Supply.
Yeah.
They have a sort of system like this, but theirs is obviously is only meant to shine. Just their building is 1 story, but it's the same kind of plug and play. Like everything just plugs in one to another, and it has a control panel. And then whatever they pick on that control panel, that's how. If you drive by there, sometimes they're always flashing, or they're different colors, or it's pretty much the same the same concept.
So I'm looking, it says limited warranty. Have you went on the website and seen what it actually covers?
It's like 5. I think it's the lights itself. I think was 5 years. But now, so when they say limited warranty, so I'm installing it. So there's rules to what they tell me I can do.
That's what I was getting
Yeah,
to. And
yeah.
you said it's new, so have you read any of the reviews on it?
Nah, I'm just going off of what the company that sells it.
This is a lot of money for it
Yeah.
to work for 6 months to a year.
Well, it has a 5-year warranty. So the only reason it's limited is if I go in there and
Modify.
they have 2 connectors on them, basically. Like just you connect this side and it jumps to the next light and you connect it. Now it can only go so many. They sell you 25 feet and 15 feet. So that's as far as you can go. Now if you decided that you want to cut it and splice it and go 45 feet to the next one, and they show up out there and they want to know why the light don't work, and they see that you've spliced it, voids all warranty. If you put the control panel outside, voids the warranty. If you modify the lights in any way, voids the warranty. If you modify what they send you and they show up out there, it voids the warranty. So
I was just wondering, because I don't
yeah.
have the list of the actual warranty. It just says limited warranty.
Not
Not unless it's that real small print underneath it.
Yeah, it's right above the light. It says warranty 5 year.
Yeah, but it says limited, so that's why I was asking. And it says go to the website, so that's why I was asking.
Mine doesn't say limited, but it shouldn't say limited. But anyways, I talked to the guy and he said that's why they have to do that, because if you splice into anything, or if you put the control panel outside, it doesn't cover the warranty.
Okay.
And then also you have to put a surge protector on. You either have to put a surge protector in the breaker box, or you have to plug it into a surge protector. And that's just because LED lights in general are very susceptible to surges. So an option that we have is to just do the front and the back at first, because all the front and the back will be just 2-foot lights, and there's 8 of them. If we did the front and the back, just the front and the back to start with, and set the system up and see if you like it, it would be about $4,200 for everything. And I personally feel like that would probably be the best way to start.
Back is the side with monuments, is that?
Yeah, the fountain side. No, not the mountain on the side.
It'd be
the
both
doors.
The door sides.
The north side and the south side, the entrances. I think
Or if we
I
could
think
just,
that's all it needs.
or we just light up one side and see, because you could pretty much light up one side for, probably less than
No, I
$1,000.
just don't want one side, no. You're talking
I'm
about-
talking just,
oh, plus the-
you look at it and be like, okay, that's really what we're looking for.
If
And
we, if
It's
we
when it
before
hits
you-
the ground.
If
before
we
you,
light the east and the west side up, we'll show the
Yeah.
window units up there off. We're showing them off. We don't want to show them.
Right.
Well, one side is nothing but like electrical panels and, you know,
Yeah.
boxes and stuff, but I mean, so, I mean, this figure that you're seeing right here is for 15 lots. I mean, that's a bunch of lots that we don't necessarily, you know, we may not really even need.
So we're talking about how many lights then if we're just doing the front and the back?
It would be 8. It'd be four 4-footers on the front, four
4
2-footers on the front, and 4 2-footers on the back.
I think that's all we
And it
need.
basically falls out to be there's one on the corner, and then there's one in between the windows, corner window, kind of in that area would be what we're looking for. What we're with this drawing.
I think that's the north and the south entrance is all we need to really light up. I don't think the other sides really, where the trees are they're out there. I don't think it'd be.
Yeah, so like on the other two sides, there's two really big areas between the windows that is not like you would just be lighting up. I mean, you're just lighting up the building itself. You know, and like I said, the way these lights are, the way this thing is wired. I mean, if you did the front and the back, and you decide you want to do the sides, like it would be.
Add it on later on, maybe.
Yeah, it would be pretty easy to add. I mean, worst case scenario, you could even add another control panel to the other to an area, because the control panel only costs $175. So if you need to add
you
a
could
control panel in the
actually
future,
independently do two sides and two more sides if you
correct?
wanted to.
Yeah. So then you could have 6 zones. Really, you could have each wall doing a different color or doing a different option of it, and it would be the control panels are actually really cheap. The most expensive part of it is the 4-foot lights. They're really expensive, and then the wiring, if you know, to run between each lot. If your lots are pretty close, you kind of see like this
6-foot cord.
6-foot cords, or you know, I mean, you get a little prosty with the cords. 15 is $90. You know, 15-foot cord is $90. So you're talking about going around the whole building every 15 foot is, you know, $100. That gets a little, you know, that's kind of where your cost comes in. And then the other, it just breaks down this wall controller, this is the cheapest one that they make. Like I said, I just didn't see any reason to get. I mean, this one I think is $175, and they make them all the way up to $1,500. But with it being app-based, I mean, you can pretty much do anything you want to do on your phone that you could do on the controller.
How long would it take you to install all this stuff?
Probably a day, worst case.
Wow.
It would probably take. He didn't say for sure the lead time on getting all of it, but it would probably take a little bit of time getting all of it. But it would take long to install this. I would say I could have this installed in a day, 2 days. The worst case is just the worst part of it is just putting the control panel has to go inside, and you have to come from inside to outside for the first run. So you have to drill through the block and all
And
that
where these
stuff.
lights are mounted out there,
So they're just
when they
two.
get-
There's 2 brackets that you mount to the concrete, which, you know, we have the concrete edge around the whole bottom. They'll mount really close to the top of that concrete edge, and then the wires will sit either on that concrete edge, or we can do it to where the wires go. Like there's actually already electric running all the way around the whole building on the conduit.
It's
We
going to be
can
out of the way of weed eaters and
yeah, you
lawn
know, it's going to be
service.
off the building. Yeah, it's going to be a couple feet up. We can run the wire. We can strap the wire to the conduit that's already there. But then the brackets, they just kind of swivel, like the lights kind of swivel in the
To get
bracket
your right-
to get your right angle of where it hits on the building. And like I said, they have a website. I think it might be on here. I mean, you guys are more than
It
welcome to
is.
go and look on the website and dig around. And if you guys see, this is the only one that I've been for 3 or 4 months trying to find something that would work, but this is the only one that I found that I could install easily for, you know, relatively, you know, low cost. I mean, that's kind of expensive, but it's what we're trying to do.
So let me make a suggestion then. Y'all want to just take it and hold this and take a look at it and pop it up on the website and look at yourself, or do we want to move on it now, or how do you want to handle that? That's the question I want to ask you. If you think you need to look on the website and look it up, that's fine too.
I got a question.
Mhm.
Does this comply with historical structure?
Oh, that's Jimmy's question. That's Jimmy's answer to that. I'm pretty
did.
sure
I
he's
thought-
already.
I thought the
I'm pretty sure he's.
prerequisite
I-
was no nails.
Yeah, I checked with
You're
that.
talking about fastening screws, right?
Yeah, it'd have to be Tapcom to the concrete edge.
You know, the codes director is the codes director for the city is on this historical society, a historical zoning committee. And we'd have to run it to her, and she could immediately tell us if it complied or it didn't. So we would have to check with her before we did it.
I think, since you said that, then we ought to let you go see her.
Okay.
And if you need me to go with you, I will, and take this information, not this information, but this. And let's make sure we're good.
I'll do that.
Before we approve this.
I'll do-
Is that good with everybody?
I'll do that first thing in the morning.
Tina, is that good with you?
Yep.
All right.
And just like, so on this one, that's Jimmy. On this one right here, like it shows the picture of the brackets. And like I said, they'll have to be fastened with a Tapcom to the concrete.
Okay.
All right, that's good. Thank you for this information. All right, next thing on the agenda will be 6E, community room walls. Rick, you're still up.
And usage agreement.
And we also want to talk about the usage agreement, yes. Everybody got the usage agreement that I put behind your, things, okay. So let's talk about the walls first, and then we'll talk about the rest of it.
I'll go try to go from there.
Yes, he did.
Everybody get one?
This panel is called the Watson Wave, by the way. I found that out from where it's at.
And I also have a color chart. I wasn't sure if like the color was gonna be the galvanized that is in that picture. That's not something I'm not sure of, but if you guys do wanna change the color or pick a color, the price actually doesn't really change. It's actually cheaper, a little cheaper if we go with galvanized, but it's up to what you guys. Other than that, everything is, it's, the price that you see here is pretty much the two long walls, the short wall in the back, and then there's a little small wall on the, like the front glass. It's about, I think it's 13 inches tall. It's not very much, but like I didn't think about it until I went in.
Down low,
No, the top one.
up above?
Yeah, if you go in there, there's all kinds of stuff like taped up there. I didn't really think about that we were going to do that wall, but then I looked at it and there's all kinds of nails and tape and screw. Like it's pretty bad too. So no more than what it is. I figured we might as well just do that one too.
So it's gonna be green. The color.
That's what he's got on.
No, it's the color's whatever we
I
choose.
don't think the galvanized would look good. In my opinion.
I would stick with galvanized because the paint's gonna get scratched and it's galvanized underneath anyway, so, and it could fade, the sunlight's gonna come through the windows and fade, but I would stick, the galvanized gonna reflect the light the best in the room.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is, so if you pick one that's painted, you're pretty much asking for the same problem that you have now. Other than, instead of them putting a thumbtack in it, they got to go to their car and get a hammer and put a nail in it. But I mean, you're still going to get scratches and scuffs, and it's going to look, with the galvanized, I mean, you pretty much, it does look rough.
Look rusted after they get through abusing it.
Yeah, I mean,
Still look good.
it's a rustic look. You know, it's meant to hold up to what it takes. It takes a pretty bad beating in there. So, but if we pick something that's painted, I think we won't be happy with it in just a couple of years.
If you go to the Tractor Supply restrooms, you can see this same
Oh yeah.
same setup. It seems like it's held up. Yeah.
That color. Galvin, is that where you've been hanging out?
Well, sometimes-
We'll take your word for it. Then.
Sometimes when we hang out in there, it just, it is what it is. My personal opinion is galvanized. I'll do whatever the committee wants to do, but I would personally rather do galvanized because of the reasons why it does scratch. It's no different than any metal panel on any building. You can scratch it and do everything else to it, so I would rather see it galvanized myself, but let's, is everybody in agreement? This is what we're looking at? Huh,
Yeah.
Frank? So let's say color. What, are we gonna pick a color or are we gonna go galvanized?
I say we take a vote. Let's just
It
vote
would
it
be-
out.
I mean, that's fine with me.
It would look better if it had a color, but galvanized kinda looks country, and of course,
But I do
this,
see the point of if we do and it goes in there and starts getting scratched off.
They
pieces,
throw the chairs and the
it's-
tables up against the wall,
then
they're
we're
gonna be
stuck with
scratched.
that, or we're gonna be buying touch-up paint.
Yeah.
Trying to go through there, touch-up scratches. So,
And that kind of puts us back in the same situation we're in
Okay.
now.
Everybody for painting,
I'm for galvanized.
everybody for galvanized, raise your hand up.
since Dennis come in and
It's the
run.
best choice. I mean, there's hands
It is the
down,
best
galvanized.
choice.
It's the best choice.
If we don't like it and we see that it's working, and if we think that we could paint it, this stuff is paintable. But I would not do that.
I don't think you'll ever
No,
do that.
I don't think we'll paint it. But, all
My
right.
idea is to buy a cheap box of magnets and put a bunch of
Put 'em-
magnets in there,
throw 'em-
let
yep.
people hang posters with
Exactly.
magnets.
What's up, Frank?
okay. So this is this inside our budget, right?
Is this something that you've got in your budget to do?
Sure.
This will be cheaper because he's quoted paint,
Yeah.
right?
It's in there right now. I mean, I'm.
Do you need a motion here?
We'll need a motion to approve it as galvanized material and, let Rick get on it.
Rick to go with project with galvanized material.
Got a motion on the floor.
I'll second it.
Got a second. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. I too.
Done.
That was it. Okay, now we're going to E1, usage agreement. So, since we, just, yes, it is. So since we, discussed this last time, we had this sent to me. This is the usage agreement for the Coffee County Administrative Plaza for community room. And if y'all had time to leave and look at it, so it's
Yeah.
$40 for the first 4 hours, up to 4 hours. And then it's $80 for 4 to 6 hours. And then it's $160 for more than 6 hours per day. What we discussed, sorry, I should have had that note out. Does anybody remember what we
She
discussed?
knows.
Yeah, 120 for 4 hours, that's
Yeah.
all we said, and then
Yep.
$100 deposit.
Yep,
We didn't discuss the
exactly.
per hour break.
So seeing this hour break, what do you, I guess I need to ask, Mayor, while you're in here, can we ask you a question on this?
If I can answer it, you can.
So who set these rates?
I'm gonna say Roxanne knows more than I do. They was set a long time before I got here,
Do you know Roxanne?
It was by Capital Outlay years ago,
years ago.
not, about 5 years ago.
Okay.
Probably, I would say.
Well, then I was here.
So we can
I don't
actually,
remember.
we can change it if we want to change it. That's what I'm understanding,
Yeah.
right? That being said,
I guess either one of y'all, either you or Roxanne, do y'all remember the majority of the rentals, are they 4s or the 6s?
Probably 6s,
Okay.
because people want to decorate and they have to.
Right, and then have their
clean up, so.
thing for 4
that's-
hours and then clean up.
And
I
that's
heard it.
where we're having our issue at,
Yeah.
the decoration and not taking their stuff down.
Well, what we used to do was, since you asked the question, can I talk?
Yeah, sure.
What I used to do is, when somebody rented the room, I took them down there, showed them where everything was. They could not, we're not supposed to use tape on the walls, they could only, we're supposed to use those command strips. I showed them where the bathroom was, where the vacuum was, the mop, whatever they needed to do to clean up. They didn't know if nobody was coming after them to check it.
Right.
So they thought somebody was coming to check it. And also I took them out to the trash thing to show them where to put the trash.
So does anybody have any suggestions on what you want to change it to, or how you want to do it?
What about, you know, we did the 4 hours for 120, what if we did 120 for the 4 hours, 160 for the 6 hours, and 200 for the all day?
I thought we were gonna make the rental cheaper and put a non-refundable deposit, so we actually had something coming back to do repairs, like replace the carpet and stuff like that.
I just remember us doing the 120 for 4 hours and $100 deposit.
Was it 120 for 4 hours? I thought it was, I thought he said he was written it. Oh, yeah, that's right, because we're trying to cut down the people coming in. Okay, yeah, I got it now.
Go ahead.
Deposit, we had to stop that because the auditor said everything you take in, you have to deposit it.
I got you.
So.
So you
give
can't
them
really
money back.
take it and
You
then-
can't hold the money and give it back.
And then give it back to them?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
There goes that.
You write a check back to him, could you?
No.
You couldn't do that either?
We
No.
billed a check
Yep.
for $250 for years, cause it was basically, it was free.
No, I'm saying if they give you the $100 deposit in cash,
But that would cause
then
them
we
to
could
have to
write
cut
them a
checks.
check.
The budget off of.
Yeah, they'd have to cut checks every time for somebody
Okay,
back.
okay.
Cause they'd have to deposit it and then cut a check back. Yeah.
So the rent's got to be high then.
Well,
Yeah.
I still say we go up on the rent
Yeah.
and then cover that. That way, it's the only way we're gonna
Right.
recoup anything.
Right.
Because we've spent, what, 15,000
What'd you say?
so far this year?
Farm Bureau? what'd you
This
say it
year?
was?
How much?
Oh, we spent 15,000 this year. I just,
I think it's 100.
well, just the plumbing thing cost 15,000.
Yeah,
And then,
yeah.
I mean, we have the carpets cleaned probably, it seems like it's every 2 months, maybe even more than that. And then there's been a few other, like, holes in the sheetrock that we've had to do. But the carpet itself needs to be, really the carpet needs to be taken out eventually, but like I said, there was an issue with the floor being cracked. And
Yeah, I know.
so all that needs to be repaired, so.
What about 152, 250? Take the deposit out.
No, we can't call them a deposit.
Well, that's what I'm saying, kill the deposit, but do 152, 250.
Or 800, 160, and 200.
What's that?
Or 800, 160, and 200.
800?
I mean,
There you
80
go.
to 80, 160, and 200.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah, 80.
That's what I wrote.
I like that 800 number.
You threw me off.
Yeah, 80 at the decimal loads.
Free to county offices, but
Yep.
What'd you say,
$800 to anybody.
80, 160, and 200.
80, 160, 200?
Kind of gives them a break for getting it for all day. 160 doubles it for 4 hours.
So we're doubling the first two and then just kind of going up a little bit on the third one.
Because if they do 6, they'll get it all day probably.
Yeah.
And like Roxanne said, the majority was the 4 to 6 hour range was the middle row, or, 4 to 6 hours.
Well, we're looking at 80 and 160 and 200, right?
Just a proposal.
For a proposal right now?
So then we would have to also change the reserve for the total of 4 hours during the same week, single or multiple days. Will we make that
Did y'all
6
still do that,
hours?
Roxanne, where it says in here, it says if the room is reserved for more than a total of 4 hours during the same week, single or multiple days, you will be required to pay a 50% non-refundable deposit. Did Did y'all still do that? So that literally, anything deposit related was killed off, okay.
Even though it was non-refundable? It says non-refundable, can't do it?
Can't
You might as
call
well
it a
just add
deposit,
it.
can't call it a deposit.
Can't even call it a deposit.
So we can take that out.
Something for y'all to think about is, Connie suggested that we stop renting to individuals, only organizations, clubs,
Club, civic groups,
501c.
Those are the
501s.
ones that want it for free, so those amounts are not gonna work.
Do what now?
Those are the ones that want it for free.
Yeah.
And that, yeah,
Well, I think we discussed that we were gonna, if it was
that if it's county
county groups,
groups
They don't pay
got
anything.
it, but,
Or county offices.
yeah.
yep.
Let's see.
So my question is, how much does it generate in 1 year for renting? I mean, is it worth even keeping for the public?
I don't have that information.
I think it's more of like a county, like a service for the county.
Yeah.
I would,
Free for about 15
I was gonna
years.
say, I don't think
Right.
it makes any money. I would say if it doesn't make.
Oh,
any
we're
money.
in the hole,
Yeah.
because, I mean, just with the
I
$15,000
get that.
sewer bill, it's, well, that knocked out several years, cause when I
Then-
figure out you had to rent it 300 something.
Something like that, and then, I mean, you got the
To
cost of
rent it to make up the 15 grand,
heating and air, the carpet cleaning, I mean,
there's no
yeah.
generating.
It's more of a
It's-
service to the
you're-
county.
You're in the red all, the whole time, it's a service.
Well, maybe the county don't need to be in the rental business.
Not on this,
No.
just my opinion.
Maybe the conference center could start renting to these people.
Yeah.
We send a lot of people to y'all because they can't afford our prices.
That's the problem though, when they come to us,
They tear it up.
they tear up more than they help us. And here we are, we're trying to fix the damage already again, and it's not been, I think, probably 5 years since we did fix the walls and the ceilings and everything. And we're right back at it again.
There's several small businesses in Manchester and Tullahoma
Farm
that
Bureau's
offer the
$150
same stay size.
Per
that would
day.
benefit if you didn't have a
4 hours.
business.
Farm Bureau's 150 for 4 hours.
That's what I thought they were.
Did you hear what she
And
said?
150 deposit.
There's
Of course, we can't
several, you know, places in the Coffee
Community.
County area that do that, that if we didn't do it, it would generate to them.
Yeah. Well, Farm Bureau, he just looked it up, it's $150 for 4 hours.
You have to be a member there too.
But yeah, you have to be a member.
I'm good.
But you don't have to be a member of the county.
It's pretty popular, I will say.
It
that.
is.
Oh, no,
On a
it is.
daily basis, somebody comes in.
It is, it's, you can always go by there and there's somebody in that usually.
Just jack the price up is all we can do.
I think we need to raise the prices up. If y'all wanted to do the 80, the 160, the 200, I think it's a little low still. But I'll do what y'all
I
wanna
do
do.
too. It's too low.
I think minimum $100 for 4 hours. That's $25 an hour. And
Well, then we go back to the.
then you go to
one,
200 over 6.
100,
I mean, over 4 to 6,
yeah,
200.
100, 200, 250.
250.
I have one, just
Go.
question, or not question, but like, a statement. I feel like throughout the week that there's a lot of people in there, but we're here. Not very much damage being done. I feel like the weekends when there's nobody else here, so you have it, we rent it out on Saturday all day, Sunday all day, and then we come in on Monday,
And it's tore up.
garbage everywhere, it's tore up, and it's because there's nobody from the county offices, there's nobody here. So if we're here, like have a presence, they're not in there doing as much damage. So, I mean, of course, you guys already know how I feel. I feel like it should be only,
Yeah.
for county.
You volunteer?
No, I'm not volunteering, that's what I'm saying. I mean, because really what needs to happen is kinda like what Roxanne was saying, like, Somebody bring them down there,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
when they're done, I mean,
Thank
if
you,
it's
sir.
just individuals, like somebody has to go back in there and check on them, but,
Because when they rent it on the weekend, they come get key on Friday.
yeah, and not just that, so like, you might have 2 or 3 different groups coming in on Saturday. Well, you come in on Monday, and you're like, oh, there's 3 holes in the wall. Well, group A,
That was
well,
Sunday's group, that wasn't mine.
that was group,
Or that was
that
Saturday's
it wasn't
group,
like that
not
when we
mine.
got there, or that wasn't here, you know, somebody else must have done it, and there's no way of,
Is there multiple keys? I think
Mhm.
there
Oh,
is.
yeah.
yeah, there's,
That way, you know, you can
Yeah,
have
like I
different.
said-
There's a
people.
box with envelopes, I bet you there's 8 in there right
Okay.
now with keys in them.
yeah, like, you might have.
Cause I just didn't think it was hot swap through the day
No.
from, you know, group A and group B of the evening, got it from group A and then.
Then pay the girl that cleans the building so much out of that money to go buy and check it.
Still though, you're talking about somebody renting it from 8 o'clock in the morning till noon. Now she gotta come up here and check it, and then another group comes in from noon to 4, she gotta come back and check
But
it,
you
and
pay
then
her
4
good.
to 8, and then 8 to midnight. Like, who wants to come up here at midnight, make sure the group,
If you pay her
They
good,
just had a
she's only
block
making
party.
$12 an hour. Double her pay. Let her come up and check it.
So since we're gonna do the walls, I say we go up on it. And if we're still getting images, we cut out Saturday and Sundays. And
Yeah,
then,
let's give it a
if
chance.
if that's not gonna work, we just get rid of it altogether.
Well,
I
If
think you're
nothing else,
taking
put
a
a
pretty
note.
good stab at fixing the problem. by
We're trying
putting
to.
up Metal walls.
yeah, that's gonna help. I think that's gonna help first.
Test it.
Test
for
it
a
out.
few months and see what happens.
And like you
Yeah.
said, somebody said it about putting the magnets and just say this is.
I said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Take the credit.
As have it and say, that's all you're allowed to
Just stick
utilize
it,
is
you won't,
magnets.
if it won't stick, you
If
get you
it-
on board.
Yeah, if it won't, you're gonna have to get you on board and lean up and do, because no holes, no screws, no. nothing, no
Magic
tape,
marker
no
marking.
magic markers, no nothing.
Okay, everybody good with 100 and 200 and 250?
Sorry, one last statement on, because this is,
Do it quick.
so, I understand what you guys are saying about the walls, like, taking care of the problem, but if you look at what we spent in the last 15 years on the community room, the walls aren't very much. We only get it painted once every 6 years, maybe, if that.
Yeah.
Very low cost. Where most of our cost is coming in is the carpets, the flooring, like we have to have it shampooed sometimes once a month. I think over the last 3 months, we've done it 3 times, usually not that often. Then, like, outside breezeways, holes in the wall, a lot. Trash being left everywhere, leaking all over the floor. And of course, we had $15,000 in plumbing issues where we rented out to like 60 people on one evening on a weekend, and we came in on Monday and we had to cut the whole parking lot out to remedy the problem. So, I mean,
And that can be attributed to the people that use that room.
with
That one was.
Went to the
that one
bathroom
was-
a lot.
Had to dig the sewer line up.
Yeah. So, I mean, I understand like the walls is an issue as far as taping on stuff, but I mean, that tape and all, the way the walls look right now, that's just not, it doesn't look good when people rent it, but it doesn't stop people from renting it. You see what I'm saying? Like, I've only fixed one like hole in the wall inside the actual community room. All the holes I fixed over the last 5 years have been outside the community room, coming in and going. I know, now you guys are probably gonna put metal out there too, but I'm just saying, that's like, the walls isn't where the county's spending a whole lot of money. I mean, the county's spending a whole lot of money because
I
of,
was just thinking more of a barn facade to make it go with the metal inside.
yeah, that's,
Can you hang lots
And
too?
Tractor Supply room.
That's a good idea.
See,
Plank walls,
bingo.
barn wood walls. They solve
just
it all.
food for thought, that's all.
Okay,
I just-
so we wanna do this in steps and see how it goes?
Then we'll let Rick say, I told you so.
And we'll let Rick come in here and say, I told you so one time, and that's it. He's out.
I mean, I understand a lot of people use it, and I
They
think
do.
it's just like, there's a lot of people on this table who rent houses, there's a lot of people who take care of it, and then there's a lot of people who who don't take care of it, and it's those few that don't take care of it that kinda ruins it for everybody. I just hate the county keeps losing so much money on this thing.
Yeah, we do.
when people
So,
don't take care of it.
let's take a moment here and just figure out what, so we wanna do the 100, 200, and 250. Is that okay with everybody?
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely, sir.
And keep it, take this, we need to have them take the wording out on this,
Anything that
the
relates to the
deposit, we need to have wording taken out for that deposit, if she could do that for us. So it's 100, 200,
Edit
and
one,
250.
whatever you guys pass, edit a sheet,
Okay,
have it in your folder, please.
all right, we'll do it. All right, so we need a motion, this is what we're gonna do.
100, 200, and what?
100, 200, and 250.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to move the hourly charge up, or the 100, 200, 250.
Okay, we have a motion.
I'll second
We have a
it.
second. A second. Any more discussion? Like I said, we have a meeting once a month most of the time. If we have to address it again, we'll address it again. I don't want our building destroyed. It's not here for everybody just to tear it up. I don't want that doing. All right, so we have a motion and seconded. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion approved. New business. A report from Rick. Rick, you're up again.
I don't have anything other than
What we've been-
what's that
I
we
thought
talked
all
about,
these-
and then I think
Yeah.
are you here for the child? So I got
Yeah.
a little bit on that, but other than that, I don't have
Okay,
anything.
so we'll go to 7B then. Coffee County Child Care Building flooring. I think we have somebody here from that group to speak about this.
Hello, folks.
Hey Rebecca, how are you?
Good. Part of my sweats, I'm in work maintenance clothes today. I think, Rick, you came out to the daycare, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'll just give you some background. The daycare that we did have the agreement with you guys for, is Coffee County's oldest daycare. It was created by retired teachers to have, affordable childcare within the community. And we are, a nonprofit. And, we have several board members who serve, we're 100% volunteers. So, we appreciate being able to use the building. But the floor is something that we get marked off on every year, and it is a safety issue in 2 areas, and I have some pictures for you guys. But the other thing is, like with the kids playing on the floor, we have a lot of things that are covered up with rugs and such, and you know, if kids get down there and they pick it up or eat it, I mean, kids do all that kind of stuff. But there's 2 weak areas in the floor now, in the kitchen and in the bathroom. And I went over there and stood on them today just to make sure before I came over here that they were true subflooring problems and not just loose tile, and they're subflooring problems. So we have purchased carpet tiles to put over a lot of high traffic areas, and we've glued them down over the linoleum to help with especially kid play areas. And then Rick came to see it, and thank you for coming.
Mm-hmm. So we've this has been an ongoing thing for many years, but unfortunately it's a big building with it's an expensive fix, so it's gotten overlooked year after year after year. But the issue with the flooring itself is it's a VCT tile, kind of like you'd see in your schools and stuff, usually meant for concrete.
The squares.
Yes, the VCT, and it's mostly meant for concrete to get the most out of it. And then also, when you have VCT, you're really supposed to, maintenance on it is like, have to buff it, wax it, strip it every so many years and all that, you know, it's just a lot of maintenance to it. So, the issue with this one is, it's an old building. As it starts to settle in different places, the VCT starts to crack. And then any amount of water that gets into any of those cracks gets to the subfloor. And then it makes the tiles loose, pop up. And then if the floors aren't waxed or, you know, done up like, you know, on a good schedule, same thing, they just wear down and then they get water in them. Anytime water gets to it, it basically, you know, it breaks it down and it starts to cracks. And this building has a lot of, you know, places where it's cracked, popping up. Like she said, they've had to go in and buy rugs to cover these spots up because it's, you know,
So what do you need, more money to buy more rugs? Is that what you-
More money, buy more roads.
So, and unfortunately, the fix is obviously all those tiles have to come up. New underlayment, not the subfloor itself. Like some of the subfloor obviously will have to be replaced.
How's the framework? Under-
I mean, it's
Is that an
It's-
issue?
I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, there is an issue in some places. I mean, it's an old house. It's basically an old house.
Yeah.
But I mean, so there's going to be some places where you might have to replace some of the subflooring, the actual decking. But again, like the tiles have to come up, then new underlayment or any subflooring that needs to be addressed needs to be replaced. Then you have underlayment would need to be put down. And then because it's an old house and has a lot of settling issues, the floors would have to be leveled with self-leveler. And then the new flooring, which was kind of like what everybody's going to, and what I would say would be the LVT like we have out here, but it's a glue down to where water can't penetrate it. And then if you do have an issue where something gets broken or like something gets cracked on it, you just take the one piece up and replace it with another piece. And there's no waxing, there's no stripping, there's nothing like that. It's easy to mop and clean. I know you guys probably don't want to hear this number, but I mean, you're talking $35,000 to $40,000 to do it the right way. I mean, and that's the only way you're going to get anybody to come in and do it is the right way. Nobody's going to come in. I mean, you could come in and throw a floating floor on top of it, but it's not going to last. You're going to be wasting your money. So,
Just putting water right back in the hole.
and like she says, I mean, it's definitely a safety concern. I mean, there's tiles popping up, cracking. They've had to cover with rugs and stuff. I mean, it definitely needs to be done, and it needs to be done right. Obviously, I mean, we don't want to waste our money.
And they get wrote up for it, so it probably affects the
Yeah.
funding.
That's the violation on the front. We get 2 write-ups, one for the countertops, one for the floor, and so.
Who owns this building?
Coffee County.
Okay. Just wanna be-
You do?
We do, man.
If you have another county building that we could expand our daycare, we would love to have that option one day. I know that's a whole, I know that's a whole other conversation. But there are grants out there. There are grants to expand, so I mean, but,
Don't lie, but hopefully we'll have that soon.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and our daycare would be interested in partnering
We'll have
with that,
ability to.
yeah.
building, hopefully.
Hopefully.
And then just another statement is, this is a big project, and I don't, as far as working with the daycare, as far as what it would take to go in there and get it done, take everything out, obviously everything would have to be taken out.
Right.
Kind of like what we do at the library when we have to redo all their floors, and then they would be without a building for,
How long do you, just a
if I had to guess,
ballpark it,
I
how
would
long
say,
do you think
I would
it
say
would take?
probably 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because
So
there is gonna be some subflooring that needs to be replaced, there's probably gonna be some joists that's gonna have to be, if not replaced, they're gonna have to
And I
be
take it.
Added to or
have a
something.
month
added to
off
or
at any
some
time.
supports
No.
put in.
We have the most, I would say, we have the most 3 days off. We never have a full week of closing, and that would impact 27 students. And, I mean, some of those students have brothers and sisters, but you're talking about probably 18 families that would be impacted for work.
I think they could petition off and use the community room if it was possible, just for that time.
Yeah.
I mean,
You think it would be possible that if this
There's a
did
kitchen
happen,
there and everything.
that you could relocate to the community room for a month?
It's square footage per child, so it would depend.
Would there be an exception for a remodel?
We could make a request. I mean,
I was gonna say, would that be an option?
we can call
Could
them,
you look into it and
Yes.
see if that is an option?
yeah.
Because that's the most readily available option is, hey, we'll relocate for a month, for, just to say a month, that way it gives some lead time
We can get it.
We can
and
ask.
see if they will give an exception for it, because that's the only place I know is.
Yeah. We'll ask the licensing counselor And that was the state contact. They'll be able to tell us yes or no. And then if so, we'll probably have to have a written plan of,
Probably have to do a plan of action, hey, this is gonna start on this is for this period, for this reason, and
yeah.
tentatively be concluded and back into our building by
Yeah.
day.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna suggest that you put back together something as far as, it's gonna have to go out to bid, is that not right?
I feel like
I think you're gonna have to put together some kind of a plan.
You're under the 50, it don't.
Yeah, I mean, we could possibly get quotes, but, so this is just a question, because I'm not sure the answer to this. So we own the building, right, so we're responsible for the building. The contents of the building would obviously have to be moved out and stored. Is that something that the county would pay, or?
Toys.
I'm talking about everything, like, so like when I did
I
the,
understand,
so I did
what
the-
is everything?
well, I don't know.
Each classroom's
They
got,
They have no money to pay for anything,
Yeah.
the highest paid employee there.
No, I'm talking
makes
about what,
$12.50.
like, stuff in there.
you have 4 classrooms of
Yeah, like what's in.
Tables and chairs.
tables and chairs.
Little bitty tables and chairs.
Yeah, and centers, each, you know, they have like 7 to 8 centers in each classroom.
It's right behind the ambulance.
All of that. It's a lot. It's probably, if you were gonna move a 5,000 square foot home, that's what would, that has
With
like
the
a little bit of a
exception of
hoard in it.
Little bit of hoarding going on.
Yeah, we hoard craft supplies.
It's a lot and the space is small, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm thinking about Ring's crew, that's what I was thinking about.
Yeah.
Get Ring's crew to come over and help.
Inmates, yeah.
Exactly. Have his crew come over
Well,
and
you
help.
could tear the
with everything.
cabinets out too, wouldn't you?
Do
The
what?
bottom cabinets?
No, the cabinets would probably stay. Usually you don't see too much damage on there. Like, now, if they take all the flooring out and they notice that there's, then then that's something we'll have to do, but you shouldn't have to do anything on the cabinets.
Now with that, now that brings another thing. So with that stuff being, if available, come over here to be utilized.
a lot of it,
Okay.
yeah.
Then what do we do with the rest of it? Who's got storage?
So what we've done what I've done, so in the
Because you
past,
got,
is with the ambulance station, and the libraries is where I've got is Flood Brothers.
And they've got storage.
And they have storage. It's costly, but I'll just put it out.
I don't know, it is.
It's a great service, but it's costly. But either they usually have their own guys that come in, remove everything, and they catalog everything where everything is, and then they put it, when they bring it back, they put it back exactly the way they found it. You see what I'm saying? So, with the library, it was a huge thing because every book had to be back exactly the way it was. That's why it cost I'm pretty sure
Bring
it was
back
like.
the boxes, here, put them up.
Yeah, exactly. So when we did the ambulance station, we moved a lot of the stuff to the
Yeah.
temporary location, and they came in and moved the rest of the stuff and stored it. But
Frank, do y'all have your containers, y'all have any of those containers?
I don't, I think they're fine, I don't know. I'll have to get the I don't know answer. I mean, it might be that we've got.
You could set those out in the parking lot,
consolidated,
yeah.
You know, we can consolidate maybe, I don't know. I don't know what all's in them. Cause that's where my mind was going, was,
When's the last time there was any significant money spent on that structure?
none, I haven't been in charge that long, but none since I've been in charge.
Say not in
It's been
10
a
years.
while.
It's been a long time.
I mean, I doubt the floors have ever been, anything's ever been done to the floor since they,
Yeah, that came up years ago and then,
And then
I
fell.
think we put a new roof on it probably 10 years ago, but
or
that's,
longer.
and when you say significant amount of money, that was probably not a significant amount of money. Nothing like this.
Whatever y'all come up with, we greatly appreciate it.
Yes.
You wanna write up a scope and let some people come in and take a look at it? And they're just gonna have to know, and we're also gonna have to know, that if they find stuff that's unforeseen that we did not list, it's gonna cost extra, and I understand that, and you're gonna have that because
Yeah, I think the
it's
biggest
too much
thing-
stuff there, something concealed, and you don't know what we
I
have.
think the biggest issue that we'll probably have, and this is, I haven't put a whole bunch of like eyes on the whole situation, but is, so people that are gonna do the majority of the work are floor companies. Well, a floor company isn't gonna come in and replace the joists. So it'd be more like less of a, getting companies to come in and tell us how much they would cost to do the 3 steps that we talked about. Removing what's there, replacing any of the decking that needs to be replaced, doing the underlayment, floating the floor, and then installing the new floor with, you know, whatever warranty. Now, they go in there and they start tearing stuff out, then they call Rick up and be like, hey, the floor joist is
Bad.
shot, we need you to come over here and fix it. Then I just go over there and fix it, you know. And if I can't do it, then I just call, you know, I call a
Somebody.
contractor to come in and be like, hey, go under here and fix these 3 floor joists that the flooring company called out. That's not gonna be where the majority of the cost is gonna come in.
No.
The majority of the cost is gonna come in is tearing out the VCT that's there and getting the subfloor that's in there now good enough to where we put something else new on it that it lasts for the, you know, 20 years
Mhm.
or longer. Because we don't want to put our floor on, you know, the decking that's there if it's bad, rotted, loose. So that's where I think that's where the majority of the cost is going to come in. I mean, a loose floor joist is going to cost you, you know, $800 to go in there and replace
Right.
2 or 3 floor joists. That's not a very big cost. So I think if we just get some floor companies to come in and
Do
give us
the
give us
basic ones,
you know,
the 3.
hey, what's it gonna cost to do these steps right here? I think we'll get a good idea of what it's gonna cost. And as far as floor joists or anything else beyond that, I think it would be very insignificant to the
Well,
project.
I'd like to see it done that way, you know, where we have a real number,
Mhm.
and from somebody that we can say, okay, we can all see that before we go any further with it. I mean, I know we need to fix some stuff there and take care of our building. One is for the safety and the health of the kids that's there, you know, and it is used quite a bit, so I would suggest if you could do that, where we'd have a number to be able to look at and give it to several, if you can give it to several, I don't know how many people you can
Yeah, I've got
get out there. I know you got some different people, so if you would do that and bring that back to us, we'll see if we can get something moving on it.
all right. Will do.
Tell them thank you.
Are you okay with that?
Thank you. Yes, that would be great. And
Well-
we'll find out about being able to relocate for 3 weeks.
Find out if they'll allow that for temporary,
Yes.
I mean, they may have to come look at it.
Yeah, the more information we have and everything ready for it, you know, the better off we'll be.
Okay. Thank you so much, guys.
All right.
Here's this, just so you have both of them. All right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Go get our crayon.
I'm not gonna kick the can down the road, by the way.
Good.
We're just gonna postpone it just a little bit until we have
Been
more
laying out there
information.
for years.
Yeah, I know. I've seen that floor before. Thank y'all for coming.
Thank you guys so much.
Let's go to 7C, courthouse holiday lighting. Jimmy, you're up.
Okay. This past month, we took this before HWR because we thought it fell under recreation, so. But we had a motion to pass a $2,500, holiday spending for the courthouse. Pass it to capital outlay for review and then send it on to budget and finance. But what we kinda wanted to do, the city's putting up a big Christmas tree that they do every year. The city's been promoting the businesses on the square to the month of December to go into holiday mode, have something to draw people to the square. So we thought that maybe the courthouse should be, you know, if we want people to do this stuff, and we ought to kind of set example by making the courthouse look holiday and festival, so. The decorations, I went to, historical zone and checked with them. It's temporary, so it doesn't fall under anything that they would have. And it was probably gonna be mostly wreaths but we're gonna leave it up to a committee that they have set up, to pick out what they want for it. But I said, you know, how long would it be last? They said, you know, 5 to 7 years, so if you divide the $2,500, 5 to 7 years is pretty cheap for the courthouse. The Historical Society put some lamps, some candles in the windows last year, and they can probably still do that, but kind of wanted to make it look good for the holidays and for the next 5 to 7 years, make it look good. We got a really nice courthouse. It needs to be shown off, in my opinion. I think we're going in a good direction by getting these lights, these ground lights out put on, and I just think we can spruce it up for the Christmas holidays. And like I said, the city would take care of all. They'll have some professionals come in and do all the hanging or the putting the decorations up at their cost. So we would just be out
Material.
material. And we'd probably get 5 to 7 years out of it. So just throwing that out there.
We need a motion to approve it and send it on to Budget and Finance. And I'm in agreement with it. If we're gonna try to dress up this courthouse in our square, and we need to, I think it'll help the appearance of it through, especially the holidays. And a lot of times now, they're having sales up there, holiday sales now on the square, and I'd like for the courthouse to be a whole lot more presentable besides just the fountain. I am tickled to death with the fountain. My wife even goes, wow.
Yeah,
Like, she can't believe that we
that
did
fountain-
that.
that
The
fountain looks
The
really
fountain has
good.
attracted a lot of people's comments.
Yeah, and the
And I think this will help a lot more during the holiday seasons too, so.
Yeah, there's a lot of tourists, believe it or not, that are coming. They tour. There's the one in Murfreesboro, the one in Pulaski, or Antebellum courthouses, and ours is at the turn of the century. And a lot of people are doing tours. I've actually seen them up there, and there's folks that are saying that, if we spruce that courthouse up a little bit, that it'll attract, more people up there that's coming on these tours and stuff. So I think that's a cheap price for that's like a lot of bang for the buck, I think, for what we can do for it.
I'll make a motion to approve the 2,500 for the courthouse.
Motion made
Second.
and been seconded. Any more discussion on it?
This would come out of our tourism.
Tourism dollars, yes.
And again, the tourism committee, they will be the ones that will be picking the color of the wreaths and the size of them and all that kind of stuff out. So it'll be the tourism committee
That helps do that.
will do that.
Everybody good with that? Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. I think that's our last thing on the agenda. We need to set our next date, which will be December the 5th, if that's good with everybody. 4:00 p.m.
What date did you say?
That'll be on the 5th. That's the first Thursday of December.
Gotcha.
Everybody good? I know you need to go because you're hitting the road.
I'm trying to think of that day, but
November the 5th. November the
December.
5th.
December.
December.
Too far out. We don't know what we're gonna do then.
Well, thank y'all for letting us move the meeting ahead. So I'm gonna get this on to Budget and Finance for this approval to be, tomorrow. So we can get that done through them and move on.
We need to set another meeting to go over this sign stuff a little closer.
Yeah, we do.
Because we need to sit down and look at it, look at all of the options. Not try to make a fast decision on it.
I don't wanna make a fast decision on it either, but I wanna make the right decision too.
Do we wanna do a full meeting or a work session for just that?
I think we can just do a small work session, can't we, Mayor? I don't see any problem with that.
could you include the other lots for the courthouse and all that to get that? I mean, he goes and talks to the.
Yeah, we can.
I'll do that.
We can
I'll
just
do
have
that
those two
tomorrow.
things on our list.
Yeah, well, it'd be great if we had those lights on the courthouse. That'd be
December.
That would be awesome.
And then we can have them hang some wreaths and we'd be good to go.
I can't imagine the historical significance of that, allowing permanent lights like that, cause that is permanent, right?
Yeah, they'd be perfect.
Anytime there's a
I can't imagine that.
anytime there's a nail or a screw that goes in
I'm
there.
wondering if that's why, Murfreesboro is there historical in Murfreesboro?
Yeah, the one on the
I
square
bet you
is.
that's why they put them in the ground.
Well, here's the thought, and I was thinking of this. Okay, if they won't let them, if they will not let them mount on the building, what if you build a bracket that goes in the ground?
Let's see, the problem is on the front side,
I
the
know
side
what
that
you're
faces Bush Insurance maybe, I think it's the
Yeah.
side.
Mm-hmm.
Not the side of the fountain line, but the
Yeah.
other side is all concrete, like it's sidewalks, every direction, all out throughout the front, there's nowhere to.
Yeah, but you
But
could
what-
also
but when
take a
you-
core drill hole and put a bracket right
Yeah,
there.
put you a mount and then
Not go
put you a
drilling
T-mount
on
to
through.
right
Just thinking.
next, I'm talking right next to the building, so
Yeah.
you can adjust it and it be right there.
If y'all wanna piss them off, I mean, y'all do
Will
what
you
y'all
be-
want. I don't-
Will you be available in the morning around 10 o'clock?
Well, I mean, if
No,
they,
he's not.
I mean, if they won't
I'll
let us,
call you.
if there is a,
Today.
if there's something that says you can't mount it on the building,
Okay.
But
would it still meet the criteria if you put it next to the building? I mean, I'm just saying,
yeah,
I'm just
I mean,
throwing
you
that
got
out
your
there.
wires coming off of, I mean, you're gonna have wires coming off the building.
Oh, yeah,
in
you
some
will.
places. I mean, I mean, I just, I don't.
I
That's why I said Jimmy, that's on his, I mean,
I-
I'll find it and I'll put it up, but Jimmy has to get.
That's his wheelhouse.
That's his wheelhouse.
I would
I
think,
spoke with a couple of the ladies that are there daily, and they acted like that was awesome, and that would be
Yeah,
great,
that-
but
I mean,
now,
you'd think they would be all for it because it's
whether or not that
improving.
they'll be approved to putting the brackets on the actual building, I mean, they are very specific about what they, I mean, I used to own a house in the historical society, and I had to sell it as fast as I could, because they were like, you wanna change the color of your door? No.
I know when Christmas light subject first came up,
Oh, I'd be out.
that question was asked and they said no nails. Like you can't drive nails in the
Right.
window facings
Yeah.
to hang lights or something, and that seems to me pretty far reaching, that it would apply down at the foundation as well.
What?
That's basically where you're talking about anchoring it.
Yeah, so there's a,
Right
if
below the
you,
brick
if you
line?
look at
Yeah,
the courthouse, there's
where
a,
it's got that brick
there's
kinda
it's a concrete
curb looking
curb
thing.
around the whole
Yeah,
thing. It would basically be
mounted on it.
on that curb, cause it sticks out from the building just a
You
little bit.
got a real good,
so
you got a sailing thing you're gonna have to do, ain't you? So find
I
out.
mean, if you wanna
We'll
wait
know
till
what
next,
we're gonna
if
do
you
then.
wanna wait till next week, I don't mind to go with you and kinda explain to them, but I mean, it's pretty.
I'm gonna go ahead and pitch it out there to them and then, cause they might have to set up, they might have like a special called
Okay.
meeting to approve it.
So back to this. When do we wanna just meet and have a discussion on this? On the signs? When?
The sooner the better, we wanna get it
Sooner the
going,
better.
right?
Exactly, sooner the better, so y'all pick a time. Tell me when. This is October the 23rd.
Well, nobody likes to have meetings on Friday, or we could do it Friday, so I guess what about
The 28th,
the 28th, 29th, that way we can get
Out
it
of town.
done.
Monday,
Out of town.
both days?
I will be most of the week. I have a funeral to go to in Texas.
So let's go to the 1st of November.
Do it on the first, do it first or fourth or fifth?
I'm good on the 1st, I'm good on the 4th, and I'm good on the 5th.
I am not good on the 4th.
Election day's on the 5th, y'all.
Fifth is election day.
I mean, it doesn't bother me, I already voted.
What about the fourth? I mean first.
I'm good on the
Good.
1st.
I'll be back by then.
First?
Tim, how about
First?
you?
I'm free all the time.
All right, we can do it on the 1st. You wanna do it 4 o'clock, or you wanna do it earlier? Or later? I don't wanna get too much later, it gets into dinner time, that's my wife's day.
Oh, we can do it 4.
4 o'clock
4 on the 1st,
on the 1st.
November the 1st.
So we're gonna do it as a special call meetings so we can vote on it?
Boy, he hates me when I do that, special call meeting. Yeah, we need
Because
to
if
do
it's
it.
a work
second.
session, we can't vote on it.
Yeah, exactly. I guess we're gonna
All
do a
we can do is
special
have
call.
discussion.
But it's
It
all,
might-
that, if you do a special call meeting, that is all you can have on the agenda.
And
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And I'll try to have something about the
I can-
decorations by the first two.
Well,
if
you need to
possible.
let me know before that if we can, so
So
I
we
can put it on the agenda,
agenda.
cause once I put it on the agenda, that is all we can talk about.
Can we not do it on the seventh? That's what we had it scheduled for anyways. And it wouldn't be a special call meeting.
But they were trying to get,
Yeah.
trying to do this meeting in October, not to do November.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm fine with the seventh too, but
Go back to seventh.
We just leave it on the seventh.
let's just leave it on the seventh and do it on
That'll
the
work.
seventh, but we would have to do it as a special call meeting.
Cause that meeting was rescheduled
Cause that meeting was rescheduled.
for today.
I didn't look at
You
the
understand?
website.
Yeah,
That's what I had to do.
rescheduled.
So the seventh.
I'm gonna probably just
Seventh,
spank it
it'll
over,
be a,
it'll be all
yeah,
right.
it'll be a special call meeting, and then that'll give everybody time to get, Jimmy, you can get your stuff with the historical.
All right, I'm good with that.
All right. Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Uh,
Off we go.